Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.
Hello, and welcome to Tech Talk, y'all, episode 402. I'm Sanjay Park, and this is a production of Edgewise.Media.
And I'm Adam Walker, and this is a production of Edgewise.Media. So I'm not really sure why I felt the need to do that, but it felt right. So
I don't know. I just decided to mix up the order.
That was good. Yeah. I like to mix up the order of things too. Dessert first, obviously. That's a given.
That's not mixing up. That is
coffee before bed, obviously, is a given.
That's doable. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a terrible idea, but pants on, then underwear, obviously a given. So, just mix things up. It's fine.
That was a huge 80s style, I believe, or was it 90s style?
Wait, pants over underwear? Underwear over pants?
Yeah.
I have no memory of that. What decade did you live through that I did not?
Maybe it was the 80s. Maybe it was sometime in the 80s.
I lived in the 80s, Sanjay, and I don't remember seeing people's tighty whities on the outside of their pants. Like that doesn't.
Think it was tidy whities. It was other underwear. And actually, I'll tell you this.
Okay.
I just saw. Who was it? Somebody on Saturday Night Live, some singer, and she was dressed like that. The underwear was on the outside of the clothes.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, we are going back to all kinds of crazy trends, but I'm here for the 90s trends. Really, like that's what I'm here for. Are the 90s trends?
I'm not doing the bell bottoms. I'm telling you that right now.
That was like that made a slight comeback in the 90s. That wasn't true 90s. I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm if it comes back, I'm not doing it.
You're not doing it. No.
I don't care if I'm out of style.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing the bell bottoms. Just no. Hard.
How about can I interest you in some Jean Co jeans? So they're not bell bottoms. They're just like it's like wearing trash bags on each leg. Can I interest you in some of those? Would that, like, I feel like you could pull them off. Like they got the giantest pockets you've ever seen. You could fit like, like those huge water bottles that people carry around. You fit one of those whole water bottles in your front pocket in Jean Co jeans. Like it's amazing.
Yeah.
So
here's the thing. Listeners, we didn't record last week. So you missed a week because I was traveling.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, you're saying this, the place I was traveling to, we went into a store and literally there were salespeople that were wearing those kinds of pants.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? What? There's like so much room inside.
Yeah. It's basically like you're wearing like a dress on each leg. Like that's really kind of what it is. It's like a leg dress. Yeah.
And the only thing I think, like, if it's cold and the place we went to was a little chilly, is that like the cold air is going to go up in there and make each, like, it's not going to insulate anything. Like air is going to just go up in there. Like no.
So you're saying no to a kilt? Because I'd like to see Sanjay in a kilt. Is there any kind of like game we can play where I can get you to bet wearing a kilt to a public event? That's what I really want to know.
So I'm not Irish, and so the kilt.
That's okay. The Irish are okay with you wearing their garb. Like I talk to them, and they're cool with it.
I don't want to do that cultural appropriation from the Irish, so I'm gonna just pass on that.
All right,
because I don't want to insult their culture. And I don't want to wear a kilt is the other part of that. So,
all right. Well, we have a good show for you today. We got AI. We got 2 weeks worth of stuff. We've got a bunch of just random stuff. And of course, we got tech breaks at the end, which of course everybody loves and appreciates. So let's start out. We got to start with OpenAI. OpenAI partners with Walmart to let users buy products in ChatGPT, furthering chatbot shopping push, which obviously is the natural progression of things. And I mean, they did it with Etsy. You knew it was coming very soon. It was just a question of which major retailer, and Walmart got the lucky nod. So there you go, Walmart. Good for you.
So I know you're on there already, like searching for kilts and stuff, but I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to wear a kilt.
Walmart doesn't sell kilts. It's okay.
Do they not sell kilts?
I don't know. Maybe they do. I don't know.
I bet you they sell kilts somewhere. It's Halloween time right now. I bet you. Like if you look at a chart of like when kilt sales happen, it probably peaks in October.
I feel like there's a game we can play called "Does Walmart Sell That or Not?" And like we get it can get real entertaining. I think
that's saying. Our new website. We haven't talked about registering a new domain name in a long time, but I think that's a great one. DoesWalmartSellThat.com. I think that's the new game for today. So
anyway, back to the story. I think this is the natural progression. I completely see where this is coming from. I can see myself being like, hey, find me the best whatever and buy it for me. And especially if it's something that I'm not very particular about, like why not have ChatGPT find the best price, make sure it's a good price and buy it for me, be done with it. It's my own little assistant. I'm here for it. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It's funny because my wife has actually recently used an AI chatbot to do this type of thing as well, because she was having trouble finding things. And she was like, yeah, I mean, it pulled up some stuff that she probably wouldn't have found on her own. Right. So I think more and more search is being supplanted. Actually, one of my kids told my wife too, like, just use the AI tool like it's a search engine and just talk to that and figure out stuff. Instead of going to a search engine, go to it. And I think that's honestly exactly right. We're getting to that point. And I think really when you're going to go to a search engine is when you know exactly the site that you want to go to or the exact thing, but you can't remember the URL or something like that. And so I think we're going to have kind of bifurcated search at this point where you go to a chat bot like this if you want to do shopping or search or whatever it is. And so I think these folks need to become more and more powerful in terms of the things that they do in catalog. Yeah. So I think it's going to be a difficult thing to do though, because it is a lot of data, but they've scaled. And I think I saw in one of our other articles, so I'm going to jump forward a little bit out. It's the next article actually. So I'll go ahead and read it. OpenAI just launched its own version of an app store taking aim at Apple and Google. And one of the things they said in that article was they have about 800 million active weekly users, which is a phenomenal number. And it made me wonder and think back, like, I don't remember how long it took Facebook to get to that level, but it was a long time.
I saw a talk about this at our friend Mickey's conference at Brighter Web, and it talked about the adoption rates of everything. And the AI adoption rate is the fastest in all of recorded history. From like when you go back to like, I mean, he even talked about like the bow and arrow, and the adoption rate took 300 years for the bow and arrow to go from invention to like use in the military. And he walked through like a whole progression, and the adoption rate of AI is just absolutely astronomical compared to everything else. It's wild.
But I mean, that said, there's a lot of differences between now and bow and arrow times, right? Like,
for sure.
You couldn't tell people about the bow and arrow over the internet back then.
Yeah, but that's the point. Well like it's facilitated through through mass communication.
Exactly. But there were also a lot less people back then than there are now. So I think it's hard to compare those things. I think maybe if you compared them on a per capita rate, you'd still see that AI and OpenAI and some of these tools have gotten wider adoption much more quickly. Yeah. Which is, I think, the interesting thing. And I think the other thing that you point to is that the value that they drive to regular everyday users is a lot higher, right? Yeah. Like compared to bow and arrow, there's only certain use cases really for that. Right?
I don't know, man. Bow and arrow was pretty high value back in the day. I mean, if you think about it, you were hunting with a spear, you go bow and arrow, like you just changed your whole hunting game. So I think value prop for that is huge. But I think in terms of knowledge workers, it's very different, obviously. So yeah,
true. But I mean, you can't gather water with a bow and arrow. Right?
No, so, if you can go from expending X amount of energy while running after an animal to kill it with a spear versus a nut, like that's pretty great. But here's the thing, right? Back to the aside from hunter-gatherer philosophy here, bow and arrow talk, y'all. Aside from hunter-gatherer philosophy, OpenAI is moving from, it's a fundamental pivot and shift in their ecosystem. They're moving from, wouldn't it be cool if if you could use a chatbot to interface with our AI tool, to wouldn't it be great if we could build all of these tools into the chatbot interface so that you never have to leave the chatbot interface? It's a fundamental shift. And what it means is that it's going to crush so many SaaS softwares out there in the market right now. Like, I mean, just annihilate so many businesses in the near future, because eventually, and maybe it's 2 years from now, maybe it's 6 months from now, maybe it's four whole years from now. But eventually I'll be able to do, instead of having to go into, Monarch Money for my monthly personal budget. And instead of having to go to Calendly for my calendar booking, instead of having to go to all these different places and all these different things, I'll just chat with ChatGPT about it. And it'll integrate with all of that stuff. And it'll show me all of my recent transactions, and it'll help me categorize all that. It's just all in one place, and I don't have to go anywhere else. So that's what's coming. And it's going to fundamentally shift the way that we operate with computers, the way that we interact with different softwares. It's going to fundamentally shift all of it. It's going to be wild.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the interaction piece changes, but what you just said is interesting because you still require those underlying like core data pieces
for
right?
now.
Like
for now,
Calendly or go to whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like there still needs to be something that organizes that. The interface might be different. The other thing that I find interesting about all of this is really what kind of these chat bots have allowed is this leap in access to people that don't understand how to program, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now you can explain things in a natural language and have it figure out what you want and do it. Whereas before, honestly, you needed to be a programmer. Like you needed to be able to understand how to write code to make it do things.
Right.
That is quickly going away. That said, I don't think like a lot of these folks believe that, oh, there's going to be less software programming jobs. I don't think that's the case. I think regular stuff that you can do, yes, AI is going to be able to do it, but novel inventions, those leaps of insight and ingenuity that are required to make kind of unique things happen, I think that's still going to be the domain of humans. So
yeah, and I agree with you. But on the software side, what will change, and again, this goes kind of back to one of the talks at the Brighter Web Conference, was what will change is that rather than being the doer, we become the facilitator of the doing. And so so back to the developer thing, rather than being the coder, you're not actively writing all of the lines of code like you would have been 3 or 4 years ago. Now you are managing the AI that's writing probably 90% of the code, and you're validating and verifying that code. And then you're writing the final 10% of the code to make everything whatever. So you're not the doer, you're the manager of the doer, and the doer becomes the AI. And that becomes true in the marketing sphere, becomes true in almost every sphere of knowledge work. That's the shift that's going to occur.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of more AI stuff, Kayak integrates AI chatbot directly into main platform. I think that was actually yours. You were supposed to.
Yeah, it's fine. You can take it. You got it. You're doing great. You're doing great.
And let's go ahead and wrap the next one in too. Pinterest adds controls to let you limit the amount of AI slop in your feed. So all the AI stuff right here. Kayak integrating directly in. This is just what we were talking about. I think makes it easier. But then the alternate of it is like Pinterest is trying to get defensive about some of this stuff.
And they should. Yeah. For different purposes though, right? Because
exactly.
With Kayak, you want AI as deeply in the mix as possible because it's going to give you a more robust solution. It's going to give you more ideas. What was funny about the Kayak article though, in particular, is its example was you go into Kayak and be like, where can I go partying in New York on a Saturday night? And I'm like, well, that's a really it's a very narrow use case. There aren't that many people that are going to go party. Like, okay, come on. Like, what about for us old people? Where can I get a good cup of coffee? Can we just can we broaden the spectrum here a little bit? So, so there's that. But I think in that scenario for that tool, you want AI as deeply integrated as possible. For Pinterest, it's really the opposite because AI is going to create like fictional perfect scenarios that you can never duplicate. So if you're saying like, oh, I need ideas for my wedding, well, AI is going to produce stuff that for your wedding that is just absolutely unattainable versus the other things that real people do that are also unattainable, but just incredibly expensive. So, so I think they're almost two ends of the spectrum as far as how integrated you want AI, right?
Yeah, exactly. Maybe Pinterest needs to also add how much does this cost?
Oh my gosh,
then you can set your budget and then only see the things that are attainable based on that.
No, it'll be depressing. You don't want that. You don't especially as it relates to wedding, you don't as soon as you go sub $20,000, it's like, no, I don't want a wedding in a garage. That's not the goal here. What are you talking? Why are you showing me this, Pinterest? That's a bad idea. So it's just going to make you depressed.
Maybe it would push more people to be like, let's just go do the court wedding and just have a party afterwards.
Tell you what,
cheaper
man.
that way. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Speaking of parties, I don't know what that has to do with this, but Ring to partner with Flock, giving law enforcement easier access to home security camera footage. It's a
security party. That's why.
Yeah. Let's see what to say here. I'm increasingly nervous about authorities and privacy and authorities and authorities. And
privacy.
Yeah. And so the concept of like them getting easier access to things.
Don't like it.
It feels like it's just one step closer to potential abuse and power abuse and just so many bad things. So it makes me very nervous.
I hate dunking on an Atlanta startup, but man, I got to dunk on this. Like I don't like this at all. This is part of the reason why we don't have Ring cameras at our house. Yeah. We actually use Ubiquity's camera, doorbell camera and everything.
Right.
It records everything locally. I can still have access remotely because it tunnels in. So I have all the same, and then I don't pay a monthly fee on top of it. Which is super fantastic.
Yeah.
I would urge people to think about the platforms that they're buying for their house if they haven't already bought them, or if they're thinking about replacing them, and look at platforms that are maybe a little bit more pro-privacy.
Yep.
Still let you do all the things, but a little bit more pro-privacy.
Well, and sometimes the most widely used platforms can be the most problematic for this very reason. Yep. And so it's worth doing a little research and just know what you're trading, because we're all, to the point we've made on the show a million times, like if you're not paying, you are the product. Like you're trading something.
Yep.
Well, even watching TV, you're trading your attention to watch ads or try to ignore ads while you're TikToking on your phone, but you're trading something to get that thing. Just be aware what you're trading for.
Which then you're putting your attention on the ads on TikTok instead of on.
Listen,
TV,
Sanjay,
so.
I don't need you to burst my bubble here. Okay.
There you go.
So
I will give a quick shout out though. Ubiquity's cameras are, I think, very fantastic. They have AI stuff built in. They will do analysis. They'll detect when people are speaking, when animals are there, when packages have been delivered. Like all of these things, it'll automatically tag in the timeline. I'm a huge fan. I constantly see a family of 5 deer running through our neighborhood at nighttime through the cameras. It detects it every time. It says there's an animal. I go look at it. It's the deer.
My question about that is, have you named the deer yet? Have you given them names?
There's not one that's Rudolph yet. I'm still trying.
Could you at least give one name one like Donner? Like would that like just maybe a Blitzen? Can I get a Blitzen in there?
Is Donner or Blitzen a female? Because there's definitely a mama deer in this one.
Listen, I have no idea. I've got no clue at all. But
there's a mama deer, and then there's at least 3 baby deer, and one of the baby deer, troublemaker. I have seen it messing around with the others. Like, it's
one of the baby deer.
One of the baby deer is mischievous with the other ones, and the mom gets a little upset every now and again.
I feel like we just got a glimpse into like Sunday morning Sanjay, right? Sunday morning Sanjay, where like you're watching the video feeds of the baby, like gotta have my coffee, or not coffee, you don't drink coffee, gotta have my tea, watch the baby deer, like you're just sitting at the kitchen table, just watching the baby deer,
They come through the yard pretty much every night. So
oh my gosh, this is so good.
Yeah. Something that's not coming through the yard because they had a big cyber attack and now it's okay, maybe. Japan days away from running out of Asahi Super Dry after cyber attack. And then the next article, Asahi resumes beer supplies in Japan after crippling hack. Who knew that the hackers would go after a huge beer company? So if you don't know Asahi beer, it's a huge company. Like, okay, I remember them. Last time I was in Japan was 30 years ago now at this point, a little under 30 years ago. And they were huge then.
Okay.
And like I saw signs everywhere for them, and Super Dry saw that everywhere, and they only continue to be as big. So there was a huge cyber attack that was preventing their breweries from fulfilling orders and all kinds of craziness.
That makes more sense now because you tagged this as like, Well, we don't really live in Japan, and Sanjay doesn't drink beer, and I've never heard of this brand. So what is happening with this right now? I was like, why are we talking about? Now it makes more sense. It's like a huge beer brand. Okay, that
huge beer brand. Yeah,
now I get it. Okay.
Sapporo is like one of the distributors, I think, and like another huge brand.
I like Sapporo.
Yeah, and so this was, I think, a huge deal. I was surprised that they didn't talk about runs on the remaining stock of Super Dry, because I'll tell you what. Japanese like their beer. They like their alcohol. Like you go down to Roppongi, which is like the quote unquote American section of Tokyo.
Okay.
It used to be.
Yeah.
There are people getting lit in that section. I'll tell you, like
at least as of 30 years ago, right?
As of 30 years ago.
As far as we know. Yeah.
But yeah, Japanese folks, they like their beer. They watch their sumo wrestling, drink their beer. Like, this is part of the culture. So this was, I think, a very big deal. And the next story, maybe even bigger.
Very big deal. NIRS fire destroys government's cloud storage system. No backups available. This was cloud storage for I think it was 6,000 government employees. I forget which country was this again.
This is again in Japan.
In Japan. How do you have a cloud storage system with no offsite backups? Like that? That is beyond me.
What year is this? I don't understand what is happening. They required all of the data to be uploaded to the system in this one building on this one floor that caught fire then, and they lost everything.
Are they not fundamentally aware of natural disasters, and that they do tend to happen from time to time? Like they're not, or distributed systems or dispersed risk.
Live on the ring of fire. There's earthquakes. I can't tell you how many earthquakes I lived through in Tokyo, staying there for a few months.
Yeah.
It was dozens upon dozens.
Yes.
And they're like, yeah, earthquake, fine, whatever. They know it's like a normal thing. It's like, a rain shower in the middle of the day. But they also go through tsunamis and, nuclear meltdowns and things like that. Like they know these things can happen. I don't understand why you would not back this up. Like, I know somebody's getting fired.
The head of IT needs to be gone, right now. That's just some crazy. So,
yeah, he's just lucky that they don't still do seppuku, ritual suicide, because this is that level of
it's pretty bad.
Messed up your job.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But somebody that's not messing up their job, quote unquote, that's pretty cool. Road tripper stops at EV charging station in Ohio. Then she sees it has an unprecedented feature.
Yeah, this is neat.
So this is really cool. So, higher level charging for EVs requires a whole lot of infrastructure, electrical infrastructure to happen. That's expensive and it's hard to do. And that's why you don't see as many of them. Instead, what they've done with this one is they've backed it with a battery that charges with the regular electrical system. And then when you plug in your EV, it dumps all that power from the battery at high speed and high rates into your electric vehicle. So that it charges very, very quickly. And so they can do that without then having to improve the electrical infrastructure, which is super smart. And I'm seeing this more and more, and I've actually got a tech rec that relates to this as well. Yeah.
So two thoughts on this, right? Number one, you can only charge so many vehicles, right, before that battery's depleted, and then you're going to slow charge a vehicle, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Number two, this is how Bluetooth earbuds have worked forever. So why are we just now realizing, hey, this works really well for Bluetooth earbuds? Why don't we do it for cars? Why? It feels like it's an obvious leap. It's a very similar thought process, right? I mean, am I wrong? You charge the battery charges the thing. Okay, cool. Let's do that.
Yeah, I hadn't actually thought about it that way, but that actually makes sense. The battery's permanently connected to power. It trickle charges all the time.
Yeah.
And then when it's ready, it dumps the power. Really what I think needs to happen though, is that we need to figure out how to make supercapacitors and put those into these things instead of batteries.
Yeah.
And they'll charge a lot faster and they'll dump their energy a lot faster as well. And then you don't have to worry about the battery getting tired over time.
Yeah. Eventually wearing out or whatever. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's the better word, wearing out, not getting tired.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they get tired and everything gets tired.
There you go. So
speaking of getting tired and having to be monitored while you're tired. I don't know. Moving on. Pulse-Fi. The terrible transition. Pulse-Fi, a low-cost system for accurate heart rate monitoring using Wi-Fi channel state information. So, I mean, apparently somehow they can use Wi-Fi to know your pulse, which is freaking crazy. But I mean, but more importantly, like, does that mean I don't have to be on one of those heart monitors if I'm in the hospital? Because that sounds great. Like, those things are terrible. I think that's the point, right? So then it can monitor you even as you're moving around the room. Like, you go to the bathroom, you don't have to take the thing. I really like that. Unplug or whatever, or you shift around and it gets unplugged, and then people start freaking out and run into your room and like, oh yeah, he's not dead. I don't know what hospital you've been at, but I've never been at one where when things get unplugged and alarms start going off, people start running to the room. That's literally never happened. I've heard lots of beeping stuff, and like you gotta like, hey, like that's what beeping. Not running. I want to pretend like I live in a world. Anytime I've ever been in the hospital, I've never been with somebody like legit, like very dangerously sick. So like maybe that's why. Like it's like, they're fine. They're in here for a minor flu-ish thing or whatever. So. Minor flu. They put you on a heart monitor for minor flu. I don't know, man. I can't remember. I've been in various hospital rooms for various weird reasons so many times, and like it turns out to be nothing half of the time. It's fine, So well, hopefully one of these days you'll be in one of these hospital rooms and they won't have to plug you into any of the stuff or plug whoever into that plan. Stuff. Okay, that's good. But fortunately, they'll be monitoring your heart rate so you won't go crazy because of this next law, which I think is fantastic. New California law bans loud ads on streaming services for quote unquote peace and quiet. Yes, please do that. Yes. I don't really remember this being a problem recently. I remember like back when like live TV was a thing, it was a problem because and they even sold like TVs that would proactively like dampen the sound on the ads so that it wasn't obnoxious. So I remember that. I don't remember having experienced this anytime in the last 5 years, honestly, where it was like much louder from the. Do you remember this being a problem? I don't either, but I wonder if it's because the TVs now do that automatically, right? Maybe level out the sound. Yeah. And I probably have it turned on and don't remember, and it's just whatever it is. But it's clearly an issue because this story was some representative's aide out there. Had their baby woken up because of the streaming ad, was a lot. I'm assuming a significantly louder volume than the rest of the show. Or maybe like the baby just woke up because that's what babies do and they cried and they're like, it's the ad's fault. It's the ad. We're going to score some political points with that. I don't know. Maybe that's what happened. There you go. Maybe that's it. But I like it. I appreciate it. Let's just keep it calm. We have now. We're about to hit Weird and Wacky here, but before, the end of the golden age of television is officially upon us. TiVo has sold its last DVR, and I've said it on this show before. That was the best TV that ever existed because you could have one cable subscription, which was too expensive, but one subscription, and you could get every show on that one subscription. And then you could skip all the stupid freaking commercials because they were all recorded on the TiVo. That was the golden age of television watching. It's all been downhill since then. Prove me wrong. So I actually never had a TiVo. I had a Replay TV. You had a rip-off TiVo. It's a rip-off. TiVo was the pioneer. You ripped off TiVo. It's fine. You had whatever. You had the Microsoft Zune version of TiVo. It's cool, man. I don't think so. So the Replay was actually out before TiVo. They just didn't have as good branding because Replay actually had some innovations that TiVo never had, like commercial skip. Did it do commercial skip? Yes. Automatic See, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. I still remember. Sued because of that. Yeah, I remember we've talked about that before. Yeah. I still remember going to like the Best Buy and like buying my first TiVo and then going home and like, this is unbelievable. I have all of these shows at my fingertips and I can skip all of the commercials. This is the greatest thing ever. I mean, it was so great. And our TV watching experience is so garbage now by comparison. So
anyway. Another great feature that Replay had that I absolutely loved, you could record different shows on different replays. I had one on every single TV. And if you were watching on a TV that show was not recorded on, it would go and fetch and stream it from another one in the house where it was recorded.
That's crazy.
And so it was fantastic.
That's crazy. I love that.
Sad that it's gone.
Yeah, me too.
Time for the Weird and Wacky segment.
Abominable Snowman is not an axe murderer. One of the TAs turned out to be a bot.
First up on Weird and Wacky, Scouts will now be able to earn badges in AI and cybersecurity. And I approve this. I think this is a great thing, as long as the cybersecurity comes with like learning how to use a password manager, learning how to be safer in terms of all that stuff as well.
So here's the thing. I think this is dumb. Because here's the thing. I mean, I think kids should learn this 1,000%.
Yeah.
But Scouts, formerly Boy Scouts, but Scouts, the whole premise is being outdoors, doing things outside, doing things physical. Like that's the whole, it's scouting. That's the whole thing. And now you've got a badge for something that's in front of a computer, in front of a screen. Like it seems so off brand to me and so antithetical to their mission, which should be getting kids off of screens. It bugged the crap out of me. That's why I tagged it. So there you go.
Well, that's honestly a good point. I have never been a scout, never been involved in Scouts. So
yeah, I was a Cub Scout for a hot minute, and it didn't last very long. But it was. I did go to like one conference and it was amazing. And my dad got me like a little Cub Scout pocket knife that was like the greatest gift of all time. So there was that.
Do you still have said pocket knife?
I don't. I think it got lost somewhere in the million moves that I've done. I absolutely wish I still had that pocket knife. It was one of the best gifts I think I can ever remember getting. Yeah. It was so great.
How is Cub Scouts different from Boy Scouts?
It's not full, like it's like for the littler kids. And there was like it's like the little kids version of like the Boy Scouts, like similar stuff, but like less, I don't know, less advanced. I'm not sure. So
maybe that's where you need to do the cybersecurity and then for the regular Boy Scouts,
I don't know,
stuff.
Yeah, maybe. All right. New space debris shield. Satellites and astronauts could suit up in novel, quote, space armor. I love this. Like space armor? Sign me up for some space armor. Okay.
I just like the name space armor.
That's the only reason I tagged it was the name space armor. Like that seems amazing to me. So
I think that could be the name of a great video game. Space armor.
Yeah, I mean, and obviously, if you're on Space Force, you wear space armor. Clearly. So I mean, everybody knows that.
And you use space jets.
I don't actually remember anything from the article other than the name space armor. Sadly,
well, the one thing I will say, it's a material that's made actually by a company right here in Metro Atlanta in Marietta, and so they've got these. What was interesting to me is like everybody uses something. Apparently, I didn't know anything about this called a Whipple shield, named for I don't know some guy whose last name was Whipple.
Okay,
and it's a aluminum sacrificial barrier on satellites so that they absorb the impact of these things. Here's the problem with those things: when that impact happens, they fragment. And you create more things that are then flying around in space. I was reading this. I was like. Did you guys not think this through? Clearly you didn't think this through. You're just making it worse.
I feel like that's true of like so many things in life though, where it's like, did you? No, you did not think this through.
So this material apparently doesn't do that. They are producing them as hexagonal tiles that can then be put on satellites or whatever.
Okay.
And they will absorb these hits and not allow damage to happen to the stuff that's inside of them. So
I like that.
Pretty neat. I kind of like the fact that it's a callback to a Atlanta company as well. So
me too.
Atomic 6, I think was their name.
Ooh, good name.
Yeah.
Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck. Tech wreck. Chicky. Tech wreck. Time to get your tech wreck.
All right, Sanjay, it's Tech Wreck time. What do you have for us this week?
So, like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I'm actually recommending something that relies on batteries. So I stumbled upon this company, Copper Home, and they make induction stoves that use a battery so that you don't have to upgrade your electrical system. So your stove right now, if you've got a regular stove, electric or gas,
right,
probably is fed by 120 volts. For induction stoves, you need to feed them with 240 volts. So what that means is if you want to use one of these new induction stoves, you got to pay for a bunch of electrical work on top of that, which is really going to jack up the price if you've already got your home. If you're doing a new build, it's no big deal.
Right.
And we've got induction stoves. They are, by the way, fantastic. It is amazing how quickly they heat up, how easy they are to deal with. So anyways, these products, this is super smart. They're making induction stoves that have a battery in them. So they trickle charge over the 120 volts. So but when you turn them on, they dump all the energy that they need into the burner so that you get the power that you need to cook. Because, honestly, you're only cooking for what? 10, 15, 20 minutes at a time, whatever, right?
Typically.
Battery only has to last that long.
Right.
And then it can just charge because most of the day, stove's
just chilling out. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So there you go. So because of this, you don't have this surge of energy either that's being used all of a sudden at one time when you're cooking, and it can kind of level out that energy usage as well, which is, I think, a great thing. So I've never actually tried one of these. I think the idea is fantastic. The reviews look great. So if you're in the market for getting an induction stove and you don't want to pay for the electrical upgrades, check out Copper Home. So there you go.
I like it. Okay.
What about you, Adam? What do you got for us this week?
I'm going to recommend the Fantic Slim V9 Mix Car Vacuum. It's a little handheld car vacuum that's surprisingly powerful, and you can also use it like as a blower. So if you need like versus like compressed air, you can also like kind of blow it. But like, it's also really handy around the house. Think of it for like dusting. Like you got a little handheld vacuum, and like the problem with dusting is like you're wiping the dust, and it's just going places. Like it's just, or it gets on your rag or whatever. Like, but this, you just vacuum the dust right up. Like it's just, it's done. It's amazing. So it's a great little like dusting vacuum car cleaning tool. It's not maybe perfect for like cleaning your entire car. It's probably going to run out of battery or whatever else. But like for some quick things, man, it does a really great job.
Right. I feel like I've seen this brand too, Fantic.
Oh, they are blowing. They're kind of like, I kind of see them almost like Anchor, like Anchor took over like power cords. Fantic, like they've got a ton of like little tools for different use cases, a ton of like little like electric screwdrivers and stuff. Like they've got a ton, they've been blowing up on social. Their social game is on point. And I think from what I can tell, it's pretty good quality stuff. The few things that I've got from them. So yeah, they've got a ton of stuff. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm thinking, I feel like I might have bought the screwdriver and maybe recommended them.
I think you did. We need to look through our show notes. I think you've recommended their screwdriver before.
Yeah. And if it's the same one, then it's a fantastic product. It's well designed, which I think you're exactly right. I think we're seeing the rise of some of these brands that really think about the design of the products and the usability of the products, not just the functionality of the products. Right. So Anchor is one of them. Ugreen is another one that I love. And then I think Fantic looks like it's right in that horse race.
That's right. All right, Sanjay, how can our listeners find and connect with you?
They can find me at sanjayparikh.com. What about you, Adam?
Go to my website, adamjwalker.com. And this was a production of Edgewise.Media. I had to throw it in there a third time.
Welcome to Tech Talk, y'all.